in line with what our month of July is about, which is low stress, low cost homeschooling. We could talk about a term that Charlotte Mason uses called magnanimity. So I had to be very careful saying that, my tongue all twisted. But raising a magnanimous child when they become an adult means that they are big-hearted, that they are kind, that they are giving. And the home is one of the perfect places to teach our children to serve and to offer themselves. And then obviously when they get older, there's so many things that come up in our country, in our family, in our communities, in our world, where there's always a need for people with big hearts. So how would we go about, and how have we can draw from our own experiences and from others that we've heard, how do you see a parent going about raising a big-hearted child, one who is willing and keen to serve?
And I think the family is the ideal place to teach a child that the world is not just about you. And even if it's a one-child family, there's probably at least one, maybe two parents. And so you can show your child that even doing simple things like chores is an act of service. And, you know, if you teach them to feel appreciated, then they will feel the joy of serving somebody else. And a very good tip I read was to actually use the word serve when your child does something for you. So if you say, why don't you just go over there and fetch my phone? And they bring it to you. Well, thank you for serving me by bringing my phone.
Yes.
And just reiterate that what we do, these small little everyday favors and chores, which are not always fun and easy, like just fetching the phone, are actually acts of service. And, you know, and then obviously you can take it beyond the family to the community when there's times of crisis and you need to give to the poor or the needy, or there's been a flood or a fire or something like that.
Definitely. And I was thinking we're a little bit beyond the whole baby season, but a lot of folk who, you know, are starting out homeschooling, they still have friends that are having babies. And I remember one of the things that the kids and I loved to do was to make a tray for the, you know, the family who's just received a new child, and take them dinner and have, you know, a little vase of flowers, and maybe the kids would have done the cookies and the decorating of the cookies for the pudding or something like that, which is one of the most simple ways to serve others. Then another idea is with grandparents, if they've still got a home of their own, maybe children can go and work alongside granddad and help him in the garden, work alongside grandma and help her with any of the homekeeping things that she has to do. And if you don't have a grandparent, then you can always adopt a grandma or adopt a granddad and go and possibly just drop off a picture and a note at an old age home. You know, currently, you know, with lockdown, a lot of old age homes are not allowing visitors in. But a little bag of cookies or a card or a phone call, those are all acts of service that our kids can do right there. And I think that the whole point is for, again, we're raising adults and we're living in this me, me, me culture. And if we have that opportunity now, because our days are easy, to teach our children to serve, it will be something that will stand them in good stead later. In terms of, it's a loaded question. So in terms of the amount of time that we spend in an eclectic home education, where you are not busy from sun up to sundown, we have the privilege of having afternoons that are free, and one or two of those can be given over to service, wouldn't you say?
I think that's something that each family would need to decide for themselves. But I think another important thing is that as adults, we're setting that example. And it may not, I mean, for some families, it might be doing something regular, like every Friday afternoon we do XYZ. But sometimes it can just be participating in sort of ad hoc events in your community, like a beach cleanup or a mountain cleanup, or, you know, anything like where something needs to be done that serves your community, or you as a little homeschool group can, you know, make it a regular thing that once a term we do an act of service, and you get all the kids and all the moms and the dads who want to, and you find something to do so that we are taking the initiative and not always waiting for something that needs us to call us to do it, you know. But yeah, I think it'll look different in different homes, like everything about homeschooling. We're all in different circumstances, so but I just think we need to think about it and at least plan some of it if it doesn't just naturally happen in your circumstances.
Definitely. There was just one last thing that I was thinking of now when you said it. There were, you know, there's some seasons in life where your capacity is full and there is nothing that you can do extra, and nobody needs to beat themselves up about that. We've all had those seasons, and some are short and some are long. But what I used to do with my kids is that they had chore lists, and everybody knew who was going to do what and when they were going to do it, and that chore list would stay in place for like 3 months, and then we'd shift it over so everybody learned a new skill. But every now and again I would whisper to one of the kids to be a Secret Service agent and go and quickly, before the other child realized, do all of their chores for them. And then they would spend the day scratching their head trying to figure out who did my chores, like who can I pay back, which I always thought was a very sweet thing to do. And then it actually became a game to see if they could, you know, not all the time, please don't, we didn't all walk around with little halos on our head doing each other's chores. But, you know, every now and again there would be that moment where, okay, I wonder if it was Jess, maybe she did my chores, I'm going to quickly go and do hers for her, you know, and it was just lovely. So even if that's what you do, that's good enough for different seasons. So
well, we do that on birthdays. You don't do chores on your birthdays. Everybody else pitches in and gives you the day off.
Yeah, it's a good one. Well, lovely. I hope that gives folks some food for thought.